Body Shop began in Brighton in 1976 with its founder, Dame Anita Roddick, and her belief in something revolutionary, that business could be a force for good. She said, "Business shapes the world. It is capable of changing society in almost any way you can imagine." The Body Shop's approach to beauty was radically different from the big players in the beauty industry. It was simple, ethically sourced and naturally based ingredients from around the world, in no-nonsense packaging that could be easily refilled. Products and beauty rituals made for everybody that made women feel good in their skin and never promising to make them look like somebody else. Social and environmental dimensions were woven into the fabric of the company itself. They were neither the first or the last among the company objectives, but an ongoing part of everything they stood for. Over 40 years ago, this kind of approach was ahead of the curve. With Anita's passion for the planet and campaigning for ethical causes, the Body Shop was always more than just a beauty brand. It had purpose, profit and principles working in harmony. The products were never tested on animals and didn't exploit anyone in making them. It worked fairly with farmers and suppliers and helped communities thrive. When the Body Shop first started, the beauty industry had pretty set ideas on what girls and women should look like. Anita believed that beauty was a person's source of joy, comfort and self-esteem. It was what you liked about yourself and what made you feel good. She believed her products were more about a daily routine of self-love instead of the false promising of slimming and anti-aging that the industry peddled. She didn't want to create products to make women look a certain way, but rather to make products to help them become the best version they could be of themselves. So born in 1942 in an Italian immigrant couple in Littlehampton, Anita was always a self-described outsider with a strong sense of moral outrage, awakened when she found a penguin book about the Holocaust at the age of 10. She initially trained as a teacher, but a captivating opportunity on a kibbutz in Israel turned into an extended trip around the world on which she would represent the UN. Soon after this, she met her husband, married and had 2 daughters. They opened a restaurant and hotel in Littlehampton, but later sold the business in order to finance a 2-year adventure for her husband, horse riding from Argentina to New York. Meanwhile, Anita managed with resources and that she was able to obtain to open the first Body Shop chain. It was run down and damp premises in Brighton, which she painted green to hide the mould. The shop was to peddle on the back of natural products made by local herbalists from the knowledge Anita had acquired on her earlier travels, and it soon proved successful, thanks to the innovational ideas and marketing strategies, discounted refills when the customers returned their empty containers, perfume oils to add to purchases as it was cheaper than every product containing actual perfumes. Costly advertising was replaced with in-store pamphlets and strategically placed interviews promoted her social causes. Within a year, her business had become so successful, she was able to open a second shop. By the time Anita's husband returned in 1977, her Body Shop business was so popular she was able to self-franchise, and by 1982, new body shops were opening at the rate of 2 per month. So from simply starting a small project to create a livelihood for herself and her children, 30 years on, the Body Shop was a multi-local business with over 2,045 stores serving more than 77 million customers in 51 different markets, in 25 different languages and across 12 time zones. Her faithful customers felt confused when she sold the company to L'Oreal. But she said, "I am just excited that I can be like a Trojan horse and go into that huge business and talk about how we can buy ingredients like cocoa butter from Ghana and sesame seed oil from Nicaraguan farmers, and how we can do that in a kindly, joyful way, and that is happening." Known for her hippyish dress sense, she described the sunset of her life as the most exciting period with these words: "I believe the older you get, the more radical you become." She frequently quoted author Dorothy Sayers, who said, "A woman in advancing old age is unstoppable by any earthly force." Anita became the fourth richest woman in Britain and was adamant she had no intention of dying rich. She would give her wealth away, and this she did. She did so much with her wealth. For instance, she set up 3 orphanages in Romania, numerous health education projects in India, health initiatives in Nepal, a Brazil nut cooperative in Brazil, a shea and cocoa butter cooperative in Ghana, a soap making factory in Scotland, and more and more and more. Her premature death at the age of 64 was a shock for many of those she inspired. Even Prime Minister Gordon Brown was deeply saddened by her death. So, when we look at the businesses today and how they claim to be green, just remember this: she was living this decades ago.